Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if it's not your first time here, thanks for coming back. So today, I've got a whole bunch of new stuff to test out. Primarily, like my main excitement, I guess you could say, is the new NYX Bear With Me Blurring Tint Foundation. Generally speaking, I like a lot of NYX's complexion products, so when I saw that they were launching this, I was very excited. I ordered it from the NYX website and it took a really, really long time to get here. Love that. So you've probably already seen videos on this, but I haven't. I haven't watched a single one because I want to test it out for myself. I also picked up one of the new e.l.f. O-Face satin lipsticks. Very excited to try that out. I also picked up the new Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer. And then this isn't super new, but I did want to do a eye look with the Hypernova palette from Drizzle. I have not used this palette yet, and it launched on Black Friday. It looks like a just beautiful, like, supernova celestial dream. So I'm excited to try that. So if you are excited for this video to see what I think about these products, please give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy makeup content, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I'm gonna link everything that I use in today's video, whether it's new or not, down in the description box below. All right, I'm gonna start off with my eyes first. I did already prime with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I'm gonna be kind of boring today. I am gonna do more of a neutral look. Maybe we'll use the neutral mattes and pop on a fun shimmer. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the matte shade here called Palomar Sky. Listen, it's early, okay? I've got a fluffy brush. I don't know the pigmentation. I have not really swatched this yet. I've swatched a couple of the shades, but I'm just gonna go in very lightly. It's like a brown with a pink undertone. Looks gorgeous. And I'm just going to run this more in the transition area. I have never tried Drizzle before. I actually am also going to use their highlighter palette, their new one that they launched maybe a couple months ago. So it's not that new, but you know, new to me. And I am going to be wearing this makeup for a really long time today. It is, what time is it right now? 8:49 a.m. I'm gonna wear it for at least 12 hours. Usually I go to bed really early, but tonight I am going to a dance. If you didn't know, I teach ballroom dancing. I also what we call dance host. So I am hired by a few people to go to dances in the area and just dance with them. It's like escorting without, you know, it's rated PG escorting, all dancing. So anyway, I am gonna be doing that tonight, and I think the dance I'm going to ends at 9 o'clock, which is late for me. But I will be wearing this makeup through dancing, so I'll be sweating. I'm curious to see how the foundation is going to hold up. That's a beautiful shade, and that blended out absolutely beautifully. I was able to make it a little more sheer because I went in with a really light hand, so I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna take a slightly like more tapered blending brush. This one is from Scott Barnes. It's the 62. And I'm gonna go in with Universe, this like darker brown. I'm going to focus it more on the outer edge as well as a little lower in the crease. Okay, that was beautiful. I love me some warm browns, so I have no complaints right now. I love it. I kind of want to go in with this shade Interstellar, this like super pretty purple shade. It looks gorgeous. I think I'm gonna try that. I am gonna put on the NYX Glitter Primer first and then pop that on, starting with my finger, and then probably will need a brush because I got nails on. Can't get too precise. Even this orange shade would be really pretty. Do I wanna do the orange? I think I'm gonna do the orange because I think the purple would go better with the purple matte. I'll do that another time. So I'm gonna pick up the shade Optical Light, this orange one here on my finger, and just start to, beautiful. Oh, I love that. Just so I can get a little more precise, I'm gonna use a brush and I'm gonna wet the brush as well. I'm just gonna go back in with that darkest brown on the outer corners to reinforce it a little bit, bring it back. Really pretty. That shimmer is quite an interesting formula. It's got like very, very fine glitter particles, like very fine glitter particles, but still like a really smooth metallic. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna pop off camera real quick. I'm just going to put on liner and mascara and lashes, and I will be right back and we can start going on the complexion. All right, I'm back. I just put on the One Size Point Made waterproof liquid eyeliner pen in Busty Brown. I've been loving brown eyeliner lately. I don't love this eyeliner pen. Like, it's a shame because I love the color, but the formula and the fact that it's a felt tip, it's just really hard to use. I feel like I go once and then the liquid runs out and I have to like put the cap on, hold it upside down. It's just not functional, but the color is gorgeous. So I know some of you suggested the Fenty eyeliner pen that's brown, so I might check that one out because I do really love a brown liquid eyeliner. And then I put on the Kiss Trio lashes. They're just like individuals clumped in threes, hence the trio lash. But these tend to last on me all day long. I don't have to worry about a strip lash like the inner corner popping up. And I think they look really pretty like eyelash extensions. I also put on the Milk Hydro Grip Primer because we're gonna test out the foundation. Now, normally, if you've been here before, I have very oily skin, but a couple of things have happened in the past few weeks that have really changed my skin. The first thing is the weather has changed. I live in Florida, so no, it's not snowing, it's not freezing, but it's pretty darn cold for Florida. Like on Christmas, it was in the 20s Fahrenheit. That's cold. That's really cold for here. So I feel like with the weather changing, my skin is not nearly as oily as it has been. And then also I was pretty sick with the flu for about a week and a half. And I feel like my skin got really dry. I just think from general dehydration and whatnot. So right now my skin is like normal to dry. So we'll see. I also did declutter a bunch of my foundations and all of the ones that I decluttered were like the luminous hydrating ones. Love that for me. So anyway, I put on the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I let it set into my skin. And now we're gonna try the NYX Bear With Me Blurring Tint Foundation. I got the shade 05 Vanilla. Looking at it, it looks very orange. This is typical for me. I'm an olive undertone. I have a hard time finding olive undertones. So let me just tell you quickly a little bit about the foundation. It says, meet Bear With Me Blur Tint Foundation, a medium buildable coverage tint foundation that blurs it all, from pores to dark spots and imperfections. Available in 24 shades to complement a range of skin tones, this breathable tint foundation applies easily and leaves the skin with a smooth, healthy looking, and visibly brighter appearance. The blurring, non-greasy formula helps control shine all day without looking cakey, ashy, or chalky. Plus, the lightweight foundation delivers up to 16 hours of comfortable transfer and fade-resistant wear and up to 12 hours of hydration. So are they saying it dries out for the last 4 hours? It's vegan and cruelty-free. I'm interested to see. I love it. It's like this tiny little itty-bitty packaging, even though it's 1 ounce, which is a typical amount for a foundation. I am going to apply it with a sponge on one side and with a brush on the other. I 99.99% of the time use a sponge to apply my foundation, but I thought just for the hell of it, we'd try it. So I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. It's kind of like in between runny and thick. So you can see it's running down my hand, but it's not really, really runny. So we're gonna start over here. So color match, it's definitely, I think, probably a little too light. I kind of like when my foundation is a little dark. Makes me feel healthy. But generally speaking, it's gonna work fine. Doesn't really have a smell that I can smell. And I've got a lot of breakouts on my chin, so let's see how that works out. Yeah, I did a pretty good job of covering it up. It's definitely a little on the light side, unfortunately. But that's okay because as we're getting deeper into the winter, this is probably gonna be fine for me. Okay, I will say it feels like, already feels pretty matte, like on my skin. But again, that might be because my skin feels pretty darn dry lately. Like there's no glow at all whatsoever. It's very light. Oh, crap. Okay, so here it is on, look how light that is. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're gonna have to like use a lot of bronzer today. So here's the side with the foundation, here's the side without. Like I said, it's definitely matte. Right off the bat, very matte. I would say it's medium. Even you could probably get it to full because it really covered up my chin. Let me just put a little more on my chin. But it definitely looks pretty dry already. That's a shame. Blurring, I wouldn't call it blurring. Looks pretty dry. Okay, let me use a brush on the other side. This is the BK101 brush. Like I said, I rarely use a brush to apply my foundation, but whatever, we're gonna try it anyway. I feel like a ghost in this shade, but it's fine. So here is the side with the brush. I don't really see a huge difference, to be honest with you. I think I put slightly less product on this side of the face, so it looks a little better than this side. I think maybe it's just I put less foundation on this side, but it still looks pretty dry and there's no blurring. I don't know where they're getting this blurring thing from. I'm hoping that throughout the day, my oils are gonna come through. That's what I'm hoping. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to concealer. So I got the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer. I got mine in the shade C5. This also looks pretty light, but actually it's probably going to work with this foundation. Look at the in the tube compared to my face. It looks very light. So here are the claims on this concealer. It says, the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish Concealer gives soft focused, instant coverage to filter out blemishes, dark circles, and fine lines in real life. This ultra buildable full coverage concealer has a breathable soft matte formula, a super comfortable wear, and will stay put for up to 16 hours. Okay, so I did not put on color corrector under my eyes. I usually do because I have very dark under eyes, as you can see. And I need a full coverage concealer and or a color corrector underneath. So let's give it a shot. I'm also a little worried my under eyes are a little dry. I did try to put the Hydro Grip under my eyes, so I'm hoping that's enough. Ooh, funky applicator. It's like a doe foot, like a heel, like if a doe was wearing a heel. That made no sense. Okay, so let's give it a shot. I'm just gonna place it. Actually, I think it's darker than the foundation. I'm just gonna start with a little bit. It definitely feels a little bit on the more liquidy side, which is a good sign. It's gonna take my sponge and start to blend it out. That blended out really easily. That's nice. That blended out really easily. That was nice. It definitely feels very liquidy and thin. I'm gonna try to just layer a little bit more on top and some out here. The color match looks pretty good with this foundation. It looks like kind of like the same shade, which is nice. We don't need to go too bright. Okay. That seemed to blend out very easily and the coverage looks good. I would say it's like a high medium, as you can see the difference between the two. What I've been doing lately with my concealer, I'm just gonna set it right now while I'm talking about it, is I've been taking a puff and the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless, what is this called? What is this called? The setting powder. Geez, speak. The Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder, that's what it is, in the shade Fair, and I've been using this to set my under eyes. Again, my skin's been a little dry, so I'm trying to avoid pressed powders under my eyes. I'm getting really hot already, here we go. And so I'm just gonna push this on. All right, so like automatically it does look very dry. It's a matte concealer, my under eyes are a little drier. I don't mind so much. If this is gonna last on me, I don't mind it being a little dry because I find that concealers that are a little dry do tend to last pretty well on me. So yeah, it looks a little dry and crackly under the eyes, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it too much. I am 36. I have a lot of lines and wrinkles under my eyes. It is what it is. 99% of concealers are going to, you know, not hide it. Let's be real. So, okay. Let me just put it on the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I went off camera, I applied the concealer, set my under eyes with powder, and typically when I go off camera, I go over to my desk across the room in front of the window, just so I can get a different perspective because this light is very bright and it's a little harsh. So in front of the window, I actually really like the concealer. I think it looks really nice. Like I said, is it perfect? No, but no concealer is perfect, but it looks pretty darn good to me. So especially without a color corrector under it. And then I went off camera and I applied brows, and then I also put on bronzer and blush. I used a bronzer and blush that I know and love. I know how they perform, and I had no problem putting them on top of this foundation. I used the cream bronzer from Makeup Revolution. I wanted to use a cream product and a powder product. And then I used one of the Oden's Eye blushes in the shade Warm Sun, this like beautiful orange color. They both applied just fine. Now, I will say when I looked at the mirror in front of the window, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, I turned the light down as much as I could. Like around my mouth, mustache area, the foundation is like clinging to certain spots. I never have a problem with that. Like I said, I don't really have dry skin, but maybe it's just because my skin is feeling a little dry, but definitely is not super flattering, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna keep the light down because I want to use this multi-chrome highlighter palette, and I think you might be able to see it better with the lights down. So this is On Top of the Mountain and Beneath the Stars from Sugar Drizzle. There are 6 different multi-chrome highlighters here. Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see what shades are gonna be. I'm thinking of doing this one called Star Nights. The print is very small on here, but this second one, it looks like it's yellow to pink. It's hard to say. We're just gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna take a more dense packed highlighter brush. This is the setting brush from Real Techniques, but I use it for highlighter. I'm gonna pop in there, and I did swatch a couple of these, and they definitely feel like a putty formula. So maybe I could also use my fingers, but let's try it with a brush first. Let's see what this looks like. Very pretty. Very sparkly. I'm gonna try it with my finger because I don't feel like that picked up a whole ton. Yeah, on my finger. I don't know if you can see. Looks really pretty. Oh yeah. Oh boy, that looks so beautiful. But I think that goes with this blush so perfectly. It kind of reminds me of the Warm Sunshine highlight from Oden's Eye that came in the Soul Money 2 collection. It's like orange to pink, pretty similar. I think applying with the fingers for me is my favorite way because I get the most impact, and I feel like I can pinpoint where I want it to go versus the sparkle particles going everywhere. That is beautiful. Wow. Okay, we're gonna go and finish up the eyes now, shall we? I'm gonna just kind of repeat the matte shades that I did on the top. So I'm gonna go in with Universe here with a really small brush and push it up against my lash line. I'm gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna go into Palomar Sky, right here, this lighter brown, and I'm just gonna smudge that out. I'm gonna put in ColourPop's Cream Gel Liner in Sunnyvale in the waterline. Okay, I went off camera. I put on lower lash mascara as well as an inner corner highlight because the palette really doesn't have anything light enough for me for an inner corner highlight personally. And I lined my lips with Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. We're gonna try out the new e.l.f. lipstick, the O Face Satin Lipstick. When I first saw the name of this, I was like, are you joking me? Come on, bro. It's too much for me. But I think they're trying to, I've heard that they're trying to kind of dupe NARS, which makes sense. I got the shade No Doubt. So this is what the component looks like. It looks really, really nice. Pretty high end. If I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a little bit weighted, has a soft matte touch, and it has a magnetic closure. Love that. Here is what the color looks like. It looks like a perfect color for me. I have not even swatched it. I'm gonna swatch it on my hand. Let's see what it looks like. Yep. Perfect. It's described, I think, online as like a mid-tone pinky nude. I would say it's much more brown and warm tone than pink. It doesn't look very pink to me. It does retail for $9, which is getting up there for e.l.f., but the packaging is pretty darn nice, so I kind of get why. So let's apply it and see what it looks like. Beautiful color. Oh my gosh. Love the color. So this is No Doubt. Really easy to glide on the lips. I would say it's satin, right? There's a tiny bit of shine, but not a ton. It feels very comfortable on the lips. I love the color. I would have even liked this with a slightly deeper lip liner, but this is still pretty as well. Very opaque, creamy. All right, sounds exciting. I don't know, we'll see. I think I am gonna go out to lunch with my mom, so I don't really feel like this is gonna last through the lunch, but that's okay. I don't really expect it to, but feels very nice and looks very nice. All right, and this is the final look. I am gonna come back on camera at the end of my day. Right now, it's 9:48 a.m. I put the foundation on at about 9. Let's call it 9. So I'm probably gonna get a good 12 hours of wear out of this. I wanna come back on camera and show you what I look like at the end of my day, primarily for the concealer and foundation. The lipstick's not gonna last all day. I presume that the eyeshadow is going to be just fine. I don't usually have a huge problem with fading or creasing or anything like that. So yeah, I'll see you in about 12 hours, but I really like how this look came out. Okay, so it is the end of the day. It is 9:40 p.m. So literally 12 hours since I saw you guys last. So I've had this makeup on for a really long time, and I turned the light way down, so I'm being a little vulnerable here. So even before the dancing aspect, like within like 2 or 3 hours of applying this foundation, I looked at myself in the mirror, and around my nose, it looked really, really cakey and actually was starting to come off, as well as on my chin. And like right now, it's completely off in this part of my face. It's off between my brows. It looks really bad. This is like one of the worst looking foundations on my skin. But with that being said, I feel like you should take this with a grain of salt because, like I've already said earlier, my skin is usually really oily and it's been pretty darn dry the past like couple weeks. So I don't really know how to prep my skin that well for dry skin. I'm so used to having oily skin. I don't really have the right like moisturizers and stuff. The moisturizer I'm using right now is very, very, very lightweight, almost like sinking into the skin. It doesn't give a ton of moisture. So I'm gonna continue to use this foundation and I'm gonna try to prep my skin in a much better way if my skin continues to be dry like this, because I just don't think I prepped my skin enough to wear this foundation is kind of what I'm trying to say. The most long roundabout way of saying it. But I will say the color is very light. I would have preferred a deeper color, and I just don't like how it looks at all at this moment on my skin. It's one of the worst wearing foundations I've used in a really long time. So that's unfortunate. The eyeshadow I love. I think it looks so beautiful. I was looking throughout the day, just looking at my eyeshadow and just like admiring myself, as well as the highlighter looks beautiful. This lipstick, I'm so impressed with. First of all, I just love the color. Like I've already said, I love the finish. I think it looks so beautiful and it lasted through my lunch. Like, did it look perfect? No, but after I ate my lunch today, it was still on my lips. Now, obviously, eventually it faded. I did reapply and like, actually it's still pretty much on my lips after sweating and all of that and talking for a couple hours. So that's pretty good. And then last but not least, the concealer looks pretty darn good. It doesn't look the greatest. Like I was sweating, like I just said. So it is kind of coming off. And it looks a little bit dry, but actually it's not that bad. Honestly, I don't typically wear makeup for 12 hours. I really don't, like, I just don't. So this would probably work just fine for me. I'm gonna continue to test all of these products. You will see them in a speed reviews video in the future, but I just wanted to give you an update just so you can see. Yeah, it's gone all around my mouth. It just looks terrible, so. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. Did you pick up any of these products that I used today? How are they working for you? Let me know. I would love to know your thoughts. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, both beauty and fashion videos, and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.